The game has ended. The game has ended, people. It is Manchester United 0, Liverpool 3. A game, this is my analysis of it, a game where Man United never got going, where they didn't look like scoring, where, in my opinion, the setup was all wrong. The way the midfield was set up was all wrong. We're going to blame individual players as we always do, but I encourage anybody to not just blame Casemiro and pay attention to the fact that Kobe Mino, when he played in that Casemiro role in second half, when he swapped and played a DM role, he conceded possession in a similar position that Casemiro conceded possession, sorry, and we conceded a goal. So both Casemiro and Kobe Minu in the first half and second half conceded possession in the defensive midfield position that led to United conceding a goal. So what does that mean? Are we going to still blame the individual players, or are we going to now look at the system? Are we going to look at the way that Ten Hag put those players out? The way he, like, it was just not good enough. It was just not good enough. Liverpool were the better side. This United side isn't built to keep the ball. And I keep telling people, we keep selling and we keep giving away, we keep letting go of our technical footballers who can keep the ball, like Jadon Sancho, who can keep the ball on the wings, because we want this counter-attacking transition football. We want that winger, get the ball, go and attack your man and beat your man and put in a cross. We want sort of this brain dead type of football where there's no long-term plan in what you're doing. You're just doing the next thing after the next thing. You're just getting the ball, then you're beating your man, then you get into the byline, and once you get to the byline, you look up, you see who's in there, you whip across. None of that is forward thinking. All of that is off the cuff stuff. And football has moved on, but it's unfortunate that the Man United fans want football to be played in a way that's, in my opinion, prehistoric. Prehistoric. Nobody plays football like that. Liverpool played football a little bit like that under Klopp, but at least under Klopp, there was a formula to Liverpool's chaotic madness. It was get the ball, Mane and Salah hold the positions, and peel off the back line and make your runs, and the fullbacks and the defensive midfielders, Fabinho, Henderson, look for those runs. There's a method to that Liverpool's madness. When we play football, I feel like we get coached up to the final third, and then when it's the final third, it's do whatever you need to do. The way that we set up in our midfield with Casemiro and at the base of our midfield almost, really, and Bruno and Kobe Manu so far away from Casemiro. If you watch those goals, right, that we conceded where Casemiro loses the ball, and I know many of you guys are going to blame Casemiro, and he is partly to blame. However, we've got to also look at the fact that if you look at both those goals, his midfield partners, Manu and Bruno, were nowhere near him. Both times, Bruno and Manu were quite a distance away from him, right? Which shows that when Casemiro is the best is when he's playing with a midfield partner. Whether it's, like I said before, at Real Madrid, playing in the midfield three where Kroos or Modric were right beside him for him to play a 5-yard pass to, because he doesn't need to play longer passes than a 5-yard pass when he's playing for Madrid. Just 5-yard passes to Modric and Kroos. When he's playing for Man United, he has to be a DM that distributes the ball from the back. He has to be some sort of Paul Pogba where he has to spray 30, 40-yard passes as well as find the 5-yard passes. And there's nobody beside him. There's nobody beside him. Nobody plays with a lone six unless you're Man City. And the way Man City play with a lone six, as I said before, one of their eights is dropping deep to help Rodri out. It's not Rodri playing by himself. The way that Man United play with the lone six is literally a lone six. He's alone. He's all alone. All alone. That's not how you play it. He has to play with, there has to be someone near him. And he knows, Casemiro, that the manager wants to play the type of football where as soon as you get the ball, counter-attack. So he knows as soon as he gets the ball and wins the ball back, he has to find the pass forward rather than, try to secure possession and pass it back. I see a lot of times Casemiro forcing passes forward. Listen, Bruno can afford to force a pass forward and lose the ball. He can afford to do that. Casemiro can't afford to do that because he doesn't get the same luxury as Bruno does. He's playing in a different position, which means if he loses the ball, he's in different types of danger anyway than if Bruno loses the ball. But he doesn't have that in the bank thing, that money in the bank. If he makes one mistake, it's done. Bruno can make 100 wrong passes a game and it'll be absolutely fine. Listen, at the end of the day, United didn't deserve to win or take anything out of the game. He played the wrong team. Ahmad should have started. He plays the wrong style of football. I don't like the type of football he wants to implement. I don't like the style of play he's trying to, or has been trying over the last 3 years to implement. I don't like his treatment of Jadon Sancho. I don't like his treatment of technical footballers. I don't like his dislike of technical footballers. I don't like his favourites. I don't like the fact that Bruno and Rashford and Garnacho are his favourites. I don't like the fact he has favourites. I don't think a manager should have favourites. I think a manager should play his best team. There's too many things about this manager that I just cannot stand, that I do not like. I don't understand why Ineos have done all the good work they've done with the transfers they've made, transfers out they've done, but they've still decided to keep this manager. I do not understand it. I will continue to watch United play football. I will continue to support this team because I'm emotionally attached to this football club. I will. However, I have to be somewhat done with this thing because, like, one step forward, two steps back. This manager is useless, and I'm tired, guys. I'm tired because we're not going to progress. The way this manager sees football, we're not going to win any league titles with this manager anytime soon. We are not. We are not. We are not. Rashford managed to play the whole game. The crowd booed when Garnacho was the one that was substituted. But let me tell you something. Garnacho didn't play well either. So while you're booing that Garnacho gets subbed, I'm thinking to the fans in the stadium that are watching the game in the stadium and can see what we all can see. Do you not understand that Garnacho did not have a good game and then he also could have got subbed? I agree that Rashford probably had a worse game, but Garnacho wasn't good either. And as soon as Ahmad came on the pitch, he looked 100 times better than Garnacho ever did for the whole game. If you cannot see the difference in ability between Garnacho and Ahmad, then football is not for you. It is not. It is something that you should just watch and do not give your opinion on. You should just keep it locked away. If you watching that football match and you think Jadon Sancho isn't better than the wingers that we have and shouldn't at least be in the squad, you can argue if he should make the first team, but not even in the squad, then football isn't for you. If you think a man that can reach the final of the Champions League with Dortmund of all teams, Dortmund, can't get into this team with Garnacho and Rashford playing the way they are playing, then football, I don't know what to say to you. Football isn't for you. You're a biased person. You're biased. Like, it's time for us to just get rid of this manager now. How much more pain do we need to put ourselves through? How much more pain do we need to put ourselves through? It doesn't make sense. It's like, there's a lot of us who are Ten Hag out, who knew, because we understand football and we saw with our own eyes what happened, and we've seen this manager react to certain situations. When you see somebody get thrown in the deep end, get thrown into the fire, and so we can observe how they react to every single sort of situation, and you've got a good sample size now. We've got a good enough sample size to understand what this manager is on. And yet people rather this hope thing, I don't know, man, this is going to be a good season. There's people on flipping Saeed TV and Marcel and all these people saying, "Oh, this manager is going to win 5 games in a row at the beginning of the season." I can tell. Tell from where? What have you seen? What evidence? How many games have we played where we look like we're going to win 5 games in a row? It's like you hope we will, but where does this hope come from? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence of this hope? Or where's the evidence that this hope is based from or based on? Like, it doesn't make sense. You have people like the United View, Flex and KG and them man there, with their fake optimism. Oh, Ten Hag needs to get his players. Ten Hag needs to get his players, needs to get the right players. We need to get loads of players in and out, and we need to get rid of these players. Listen, we can change the whole team if we want, man. We've changed this team so many times. We've got rid of Pogba's and the Martials now. So what excuse do you have now? We've got rid of the Martials, Pogba's. Luke Shaw's not playing. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's not here. Martial's not here. Sancho's not here. Like, all these players are not here. So what happens now? What happens now then? What happens now? Because at the end of the day, when we keep hearing it's always the same players, and every season we buy 5 or 6 players, and I'm like, hold a second, how can it always be the same players when we keep changing players? We've literally given this manager a whole new team. He spent around 600 million. We've given him a whole new back line, a whole new midfield, a whole new attacking setup. Antony's. He's got Antony, the player that he wanted. He's playing Garnacho, the player that he likes. Zirkzee, Hojlund. And yet this man can't set up a team. Can't put a team out at Old Trafford that can keep the ball because he doesn't want the ball. Ugarte is not somebody who keeps the ball. Ugarte is a destroyer. He's not techie. He's not a ball playing midfielder. We've got nobody who wants to keep the ball, and he keeps getting rid of players like Sancho who want to keep the ball. So what type of football does this man want to play? It's long. It's long. Like, this new Liverpool manager should not be beating Ten Hag. His first season, his third proper game as a Liverpool manager. He's never had these players before. He's only had these players for a month since he's been at the club, since he's been at Liverpool. And already, with these players that he doesn't know, a setup that he's still getting familiar with, he's managed to outplay Ten Hag, his Dutch compatriot. It's so easy to play against a Ten Hag team. Every time this manager sets up, I'm thinking this is not going to be good. We can get Ugarte all we like, bro. Ugarte is not somebody who can keep the ball. We need to learn how to appreciate. As Man United fans, we need to learn how to appreciate the keeping the ball type of football. I know you guys want to boo and complain whenever Sancho or whenever a winger has the ball and passes the ball backwards. Oh, go and attack your man. Go on and beat your man. Oh, why pass it back? I know you guys want to moan when wingers pass the ball backwards because we've been blessed with Giggs and Ronaldo, but football is changed. Every team has good players. Every team have athletic players. We cannot keep playing this football where we want to play on that transition and give the ball away consistently. Get the ball, give the ball to Rashford. Get the ball, give the ball to Garnacho. Get the ball. No, sometimes the pass might not be on, and sometimes we need to find a way to one, get out of tight spaces, and also rotate the ball. If the pass is not on, give the ball back to the fullback, give the ball back to the defender, and we rotate it and we keep moving it. We keep moving it until we have an opening. We got to learn how to keep the ball. The best form of defense, we know this, is to keep the ball. That's the best form of defense. But Ten Hag does not want to build a team that keeps the ball. And the United fans think it's boring to keep the ball. They don't even want to see that. So we're now caught in this catch-22 where you guys don't even want what you need. What you actually need, you guys don't want it. When you need players like Sancho, when you need Sancho to link up with Zirkzee and link up with Ahmad to play this sort of techie, sort of like possession-based football, that's what you guys actually need. You need that type of football, but you don't want that type of football. It's boring. It's boring. Boo. You want Garnacho to run at his man and run around. Like, listen, this season is going to be very painful. Last season was painful, but we were saved by the FA Cup. The FA Cup win gassed all the Man United fans and made us feel that we could forget everything that Ten Hag did last season. And now the season has started and boom, we are reminded by everything that happened last season. And I want us to remember, because on this channel, there's one thing about this channel, yeah, we're going to hold people accountable. We're not going to be emotional. We are emotional right now, but we're not just going to be emotional. We're going to try to be objective. We're going to try to remember things. We're going to try to keep things in context, and we're going to always try to provide context when we have conversations about this manager. Because a lot of people want to take out context and, like I said, completely disregard and choose to have dementia when it comes to the football we were playing last season. I don't have dementia when it comes to that football. I was bored every game. Every game I was bored out of my skin. And we've started the same way. And nobody wants to talk about it. We're going to talk about individual players. Casemiro. Anyway, before I go, let me quickly read some comments. Orhan saying that Man United is not playing well. Man United played badly. Yeah, we didn't play well at all, my friend. At all. Craig Williams, big up yourself, Craig Williams. Thanks for passing through the channel. Hope you stay for more watch long. Smash the like as well, my brother. Craig Williams is saying Rashford and Bruno went missing today. Rashford lose his fight to run the wing. Yeah, I mean, Rashford is a footballer that I've said many, many times. Think about it, and let's think about it without emotion. Look at what type of footballer Rashford is. Look at what he does, and look at how he plays football. There is no championship winning club. There's no football club that wins the Premier League with Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side. If this Man United football club wants to win the league, please understand that Marcus Rashford is not somebody you win a Premier League. He's somebody you might have in your squad and you bring on once in a while. You might start a few games, but he's not good enough to play in a Premier League winning side. Neither is Garnacho. Garnacho is nowhere near. Like, you need players who can give you a consistent level of performance week in, week out. And none of our forwards can do that. Ahmad could arguably do it, but we haven't seen it yet. We've seen Sancho do it for other clubs, but we haven't seen him do it for this club. And plus, he's not our player anymore. So let's not even talk about Sancho. None of our forwards, we've never seen a consistent season from Marcus Rashford in our lives. In our lives, we've never seen him play. We've not even seen Marcus Rashford have a consistent game. He'll be in one game, in any given game, he will have a poor 20 minutes, then a good 10 minutes, then a really bad 40 minutes, then a good 30 minutes, and he score a goal. He doesn't even give you consistent performances within a 90-minute game. He does not give you consistent seasons. The only season that I remember he was consistent in is the season where Martial played up front and Mason Greenwood played on the right-hand side. That front three was consistent. All three of them got at least 15, 16, 17 goals and assists, I think, for the whole season. That was a good season under Oli. But why do we expect that player that we've never seen that from for 8 years all of a sudden do something that we have? Like, that's my problem with football fans. It's such an emotional sport that a lot of the times what you hear is projection, is what we hope to happen. A lot of times we hope Marcus Rashford has this season. We hope, we pray, we think. It's never based on any objective reality. A lot of times it's not. Sometimes it is, but often it isn't. And that's my problem. we're getting rid of all the wrong players at this football club, and we're getting left with all these runners. I mean, Craig Williams, your comment about Rashford is too. You can't fight to run down the wing. It's a fair comment, but it's also, if we kept the ball better as a football team, we also wouldn't need to run around so much. Understand that if we, as a football team, were built to keep the ball more, we would therefore be chasing it less and therefore run around less. We wouldn't need to run around as much. As simple as that. The football that we play needs to change, and I don't think this manager will change the way that we play football. I really don't. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. That's my match reaction, match analysis. United are like runny dog's poo. I'm joking. I'm out of there, man. I'll see you guys next time, man, in the next match. Hopefully we can win. But yeah, Ten Hag out, Man United out, Ineos out, Man United players out, everyone out. I'm out. Peace.